Ladies, let me tell you something. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is absolutely nothing. That silence, that pause, that's where your power lies. You don't need to send that text. You don't need to make that call. You don't need to beg, explain, or chase. Because the day you stop chasing a man is the day he starts chasing you. And I don't mean just chasing your attention. I'm talking about chasing the version of you he thought he had all figured out. See, men are wired to think they got the upper hand when you're blowing up their phone, when you're checking in, when you're trying to fix it. But the second you stop doing all that, oh, he feels it. That silence gets loud in his world. He starts to wonder, where is she? Who's she with? Why isn't she reacting? And trust me, that's when the tables turn. Now, I ain't here to give you soft advice, fairy tales, or Instagram quotes. I'm not here to tell you to just love yourself and move on like it's easy. Nah, I'm giving you grown woman power moves. 6 strong, unshakable keys that will change how you see yourself and how any man sees you. Because this ain't just about relationships. It's about self-respect. It's about emotional freedom. It's about remembering who the hell you are. And let me be clear, if you apply these 6 keys, your life will not look the same. You will walk different, talk different, and men will treat you different because you'll stop operating from weakness and start moving in power. So buckle up, ladies. Tonight we're flipping the script, and when we're done, no text, no call, just you. Silence speaks louder than words. Ladies, listen to me real close. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. When you get quiet, you gain control. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your dignity. Because here's what most women don't realize. Men expect noise. They expect the text. They expect the late night we need to talk. They expect the drama, the back and forth, the arguments, the tears. They expect you to keep giving them the upper hand by reacting. But when you go silent, when you shut it down and pull all that energy back, that man starts to panic. That silence gets so loud in his world, he can't ignore it. He'll sit there staring at his phone, waiting for your name to pop up, wondering why you ain't checking on him. He'll start scrolling through your page, checking who liked your photos, losing his mind because suddenly you've disappeared. See, ladies' silence speaks volumes. It says, I'm not here to audition for love. It says, I'm not going to beg you to treat me right. It says, I know my value. And if you don't see it, that's your loss. And trust me, when a man hears that silence, it rattles him because silence forces him to deal with the consequences of his actions. Silence makes him sit in the emptiness he created. Silence puts the mirror up in front of his face and makes him realize you ain't playing games no more. Now, let me give you something real. Some of you keep texting paragraphs trying to explain why you're hurt. Some of you keep calling, trying to get closure. Let me free you from that tonight. Closure don't come from him. Closure comes from you. Your silence is your closure. Because when you choose not to respond, you're saying, I deserve better, and I don't need to waste words proving it. And let me tell you this, silence don't just affect him. It transforms you. It gives you space to breathe again. It gives you room to heal, to think clearly, to rebuild your confidence. When you stop pouring all your energy into chasing him, you finally have the strength to pour that energy back into yourself. And that, ladies, is when you start glowing different. I'll give you a picture. Imagine you're arguing with someone. You're yelling, you're pleading, you're going back and forth, and the whole time they're calm, quiet, unbothered. Who's in control of that situation? The quiet one. the one who doesn't react, the one who holds their ground. That's the power of silence. It shifts control back into your hands. Now, don't get me wrong. Silence ain't about playing games. It ain't about making him jealous or trying to manipulate him. No, it's about boundaries. It's about saying, I will no longer participate in situations that drain me. It's about realizing that your peace is more valuable than winning an argument. And here's the beauty of it. When you master silence, you don't have to beg for respect. Respect just shows up. Because people can't help but respect a woman who knows when to walk away, who knows when to stop talking, who knows how to let her actions speak louder than her words. Ladies, some of you need to hear this. Your silence is not empty. Your silence is full of answers. It's full of lessons. It's full of strength. It's full of healing. And the right man, the man who truly sees you, he won't let that silence last long. He'll step up. He'll match your energy. He'll realize that a woman who can master silence is a woman who cannot be played with. So the next time you're tempted to send that "What are we?" text, pause. The next time you feel like calling just to remind him you exist, pause. The next time you're about to explain why you deserve love, pause. And instead choose silence, because silence says it all. Silence protects your dignity. Silence keeps your power. Silence reminds you and him that you ain't the type of woman who begs for love. You are the type of woman who attracts it, and never forget this. Silence is not the absence of words. It's the presence of power. Detachment is the real flex. Ladies, let me hit you with the truth. Detachment. That's the real flex. Not the outfit, not the lashes, not the body you worked on in the gym, though all of that is good. But the real flex, the one that makes men lose their grip, the one that makes them sit up and pay attention. It's when you detach. It's when you stop needing them for your peace, your happiness, your identity. See, detachment is not about not loving. It's not about becoming cold or bitter. No, detachment is about freedom. It's about saying, I can love you, but I don't need you to breathe. That's when you flip the script. 'Cause the second a man knows you depend on him for your joy, he knows he has power. He knows he can call when he wants disappear, when he wants breadcrumb you, with just enough attention to keep you holding on. But when you detect, baby, that power shifts, suddenly you're not waiting by the phone anymore. Suddenly his silence don't shake you. Suddenly you're good whether he's in the picture or not. And let me tell you, nothing drives a man crazier than a woman who's good without him. Now, let me paint the picture. You ever notice how when you stop checking for somebody, they start checking for you? When you stop watching his stories, suddenly he's watching yours. When you stop texting, suddenly he's popping up with that. Hey, stranger, why? Because detachment exposes the truth. It shows him you're not tied to his validation. It shows him you don't need his crumbs because you've got a whole feast inside yourself. And don't get it twisted. Detachment is not easy. It takes discipline. It takes courage because a part of you still wants to reach out, still wants to hear his voice, still wants to feel needed. But here's the secret. Every time you choose detachment over desperation, you build a muscle, you build confidence, you build strength, and that strength becomes your glow. Ladies, hear me on this. Attachment will drain you. You ever see a woman lose herself in a man? She forgets her friends, her dreams, her hobbies. She stops being hair and starts being a shadow. That's what attachment does. It keeps you locked in chains, waiting on someone else's actions to determine how you feel about yourself. But detachment is cutting those chains. Detachment is saying, I can love you and still love me more. And now here's the kicker. When you detach, you don't stop loving. You just stop losing yourself in the process. You stop giving discounts on your value. You stop putting someone else's needs above your own peace, and that shift, that's magnetic. That's what makes a man stop and say, hold on, she's different. And let me tell you why it makes them crazy. Because most men are used to women holding on. They're used to women waiting, hoping, clinging. They're used to women making excuses, forgiving too soon, accepting too little. But when you detach, when you step back and live your life, you break every rule they've gotten comfortable with. You confuse them, you disrupt the pattern, and in that disruption, he starts to realize he's no longer in control. But here's the most beautiful part. Detachment ain't about him at all. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your energy, your dreams, your confidence. It's about rediscovering the woman you were before the heartbreak. The woman who had goals, ambitions, laughter, and joy that had nothing to do with a man. That's why detachment is the real flex. Because while he's sitting there wondering why you're not chasing, you're too busy chasing your life, your purpose, your glow up. So the next time you feel that urge to cling, to over-explain, to force the connection, pause. Remind yourself detachment is power. Detachment is self-respect. Detachment is the move that keeps you grounded, radiant, and unstoppable. And remember this, when you master detachment, you don't just win the man game. You win the life game because you'll never again let someone else's presence or absence dictate your peace. Watch what happens when you pull away. Now, ladies, let me break this down for you real slow, because some of y'all don't even realize the storm you create the moment you pull away. See, pulling away is not weakness. It's not giving up. It's not quitting. Pulling away is the reset button. Pulling away is the test. Pulling away is the mirror you hold up to that man, and suddenly he's forced to face the truth. He don't own you. He don't control you. And he damn sure can't play with you forever. The first thing that happens when you pull away, he notices. Don't let him fool you. Don't let that silence on him trick you into thinking he's unbothered. Men may act cool, but trust me, they notice the shift when you stop texting good morning. When you stop checking in, when you stop making yourself available at his convenience, his world tilts because now he's missing the attention he took for granted. And that's when confusion sets in. He starts asking himself, why isn't she reaching out? Did I lose her? Is she talking to somebody else? And ladies, let me tell you, so nothing rattles a man more than the thought of you being okay without him. Nothing, because men lie for the ego boost of being needed. The second you show him you don't need him, you strip his ego down to size. Now let me give you the second thing that happens. He tests you, oh yeah, expect it, that little a stranger text. Iran and I miss you that late night. What you doing? Call. Why? Because he's trying to see if he still has access. He wants to know if you're still the same woman who would drop everything to respond. But when you pull away and don't rush to answer, when you don't feed that ego, that's when the game changes. Third thing, he starts chasing. And this ain't just about texting and calling. When a man realizes you've pulled away, he'll start popping up. He'll start trying to slide back in your world. He'll get curious about your business, your friends, your new energy. Because here's the truth. Men are hunters by nature, but they only chase what moves away. As long as you're sitting still, begging, clinging, he has no reason to hunt. But the second you pull back, suddenly the chase kicks in. Suddenly you're the mystery. Suddenly he's the one asking questions and feeling anxious. But here's the part I love most. When you pull away, you change. Because pulling away ain't just about him. It's about you finally giving yourself the chance to breathe, to think, to heal. You stop living in reaction mode and start living in reflection mode. You stop spending energy trying to fix him, and you start spending energy fixing you. And baby, that's when your glow up begins. Ladies, let me give you a story. You ever seen a man lose his mind after a breakup? Not when she was crying, not when she was begging, but when she pulled all the way back. When she started posting her smile again. When she started looking unbothered. When she started thriving without him. That's when it hit him, because men don't feel the loss when you're still available. They feel it when you pull away. They feel it when your silence and your distance expose the void they created. And here's the kicker. You don't even have to do anything extra. Pulling away ain't about games. It ain't about trying to manipulate. It's about protecting your peace. It's about saying, I refuse to keep pouring into a cup with holes in it. It's about showing him through your actions that you will not beg to be valued. Now some of you might be scared, but Steve, what if I pull away and he never comes back? Let me tell you something. Even if he doesn't come back, that means he was never yours to begin with. And that's your blessing. 'Cause a real man, the man who sees your worth, he ain't going to let you walk away without a fight. Pulling away. Don't push the right man out. It pulls the wrong man off the stage. So don't be afraid to step back. Don't be afraid to go quiet. Don't be afraid to reclaim your space, because when you pull away, one of two things will happen. He'll either rise up and match your value, or he'll fade out and make room for somebody who will. And either way, you win. So watch closely, ladies. Watch what happens when you pull away, because that's when the truth shows up. Healing is the revenge. Now listen to me, ladies, because this right here is the part most of y'all miss. After you pull away, after you step back, after you stop chasing, that's when the real work begins. That's when healing becomes your secret weapon. See, a lot of women think revenge is getting even. You think revenge is finding somebody else quick, or posting some cryptic message online, or trying to make him jealous. No, that's surface level, that's temporary, that's noise. Real revenge, the kind that cuts deep, the kind that flips the script, is healing, because nothing messes with a man's head more than watching the woman he hurt glow without him. That's the kind of revenge he can't escape. He can mute your social media, he can block your number, but he can't unsee your peace, he can't unsee your smile, he can't unsee the fact that you rose from what was supposed to break you. See, when you heal, you stop reacting, you stop explaining, you stop proving, you stop trying to show him your worth, because now you actually see it for yourself. Healing makes you untouchable. Healing puts you in a place where his games don't faze you anymore. His little tests, his little tricks, his little breadcrumbs. You don't even flinch because you're no longer operating from pain. You're operating from power, and let me tell you something, he feels that shift. Oh, he might not admit it, but he feels it. Because men know when the emotional leash they had on you snaps. They know when their hold is gone. That's why some of them panic when they see you moving on without anger. Because anger still means he matters. Silence, peace, and healing, that means he's history, and baby, nothing stings more than being history. Now, let's get practical. Healing is not just sitting around waiting for time to pass. Healing is a choice. Healing is action. Healing is deciding, I'm going to rebuild myself. Not for him, not for them, but for me. It's getting back into your routine. It's pouring into your career, your health, your friendship. It's going to therapy if you need it. It's journaling, traveling, working out, rediscovering hobbies you forgot about. Healing is reclaiming the parts of yourself you lost trying to hold somebody else together. Ladies, let me break it down even further. Healing is walking past him or the memory of him and not feeling your stomach drop. Healing is hearing his name and not flinching. Healing is when his apology, his excuses, his attempts to circle back no longer move you. Healing is when you can say, I learned, and I leveled up. That's the victory. That's the revenge. You ever notice how some men come crawling back months later acting like they just woke up from a dream? You know why. Because by then you've healed, and the energy you give off when you're healed, it's magnetic. It's untouchable. It's that quiet confidence that says, I'm good with or without you. And that right there is what drives him crazy, because he thought breaking you would keep you bound. But instead, it made you stronger. Let me give you a story. I've seen women walk away from years of toxic relationships, broken down, drained, feeling like nothing was left. But once they chose to heal, once they started pouring into themselves, they became unrecognizable. Not because of a new man, not because of a rebound, but because of their glow. And guess who noticed? The man who thought he left her destroyed. Suddenly, he wants back in. Suddenly, he realizes what he lost. But by then, it's too late, because healing changes your standards. Healing makes sure you'll never settle for less again. Ladies, healing is not just revenge, it's freedom. It's the moment you look in the mirror and realize, I don't have to beg, chase, or settle ever again. And when you reach that place, you stop asking, why did he hurt me? And you start asking, why did I let myself stay so long? That's shift right there. That's power. That's where the game changes. So, don't waste your time plotting petty revenge. Don't waste your time trying to hurt him back. Because the truth is, he already hurt himself by losing you. The best thing you can do, the sweetest revenge you can serve, is to heal so completely that his memory no longer has power over you. And let me tell you this, once you heal, you'll thank him. Not because of the pain, but because the pain pushed you into your power. The pain forced you to find yourself again. And when you get there, ladies, you'll understand healing is not just revenge. Healing is the revolution. Healing is the rebirth. Healing is the ultimate glow up. So, if you really want to get back at him, don't cry. Don't chase, don't plot, heal, because when you heal, you win every time. Take your power back, ladies. Now we're stepping into the part that separates the women who stay stuck from the women who rise. Healing is powerful. Yes, but once you've healed, once you've regained your strength, the next move is non-negotiable. You got to take your power back. Because for too long, some of y'all been giving your power away like it was free samples at the mall. And the truth is, a man will only take what you let him. See, every time you begged him to stay, you handed over power. Every time you explained yourself when he already knew he was wrong, you handed over power. Every time you let him back in after disrespecting you, you handed over power. And then you wonder why he don't respect you. Baby, respect comes when you respect yourself first, and the way you get that respect back, you take your power back. Now listen, I know some of y'all sitting here thinking, Steve, I don't even know what that looks like. I feel too broken, too tired, too drained. But let me break it down real clear. Taking your power back starts with one decision. I will no longer be available to people who do not value me. That's it. That's the whole shift. You cut off access. You draw new boundaries. You stop giving discounts on your worth. Taking your power back means you stop being scared of losing him and start being scared of losing yourself. Because here's the real, when you lose yourself chasing somebody else, you've already lost the game. But when you center yourself, when you say, I'm done playing small, that's when life bends in your favor. Let me paint you a picture. You ever seen a woman who finally wakes up? A woman who goes from crying on her pillow to walking with her head high again. There's something different about her. Her voice changes. Her posture changes. Her energy changes. She don't even have to say much, but everybody feels it. That's what taking your power back looks like. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's just the quiet strength that says, I refuse to be treated less than I deserve. Now, here's where it gets good. When you take your power back, men feel it. Oh, they feel it heavy. They might act like they don't care, but inside it burns them up because control was their comfort. And the minute you stop playing their game, the minute you stop reacting, stop begging, stop explaining, they lose that control. And a man without control over you is a man who will do anything to get it back. But this time, he can't because you ain't giving it up. You've leveled up. You've drawn the line, and that's when he realizes he don't run you. You run you. Now, let's get practical again. How do you take your power back? You start by saying no. No to disrespect. No to half effort. No to mixed signals. No to being an option. You start by walking away when you're not valued. You start by loving yourself louder than you ever loved him. You pour into yourself. You invest in yourself. You remind yourself daily, I am the prize, and let me tell you something. When you start living like you're the prize, men either step up or step out. And either way, you win. Here's the thing, ladies, your power was never gone. It was just misplaced. It was buried under the tears, the doubt, the fear, the attachment. But once you decide to reclaim it, you'll realize it was in you the whole time. That's why I say stop waiting for closure. Stop waiting for him to change. Stop waiting for somebody to validate you. You are the validation. You are the closure. You are the change. And let me warn you, when you take your power back, don't expect applause. Some people around you, including that man, will be uncomfortable. They'll say you're acting different. They'll say you're cold. They'll say you're too much. Baby, let them talk. That's the sound of boundaries working. That's the sound of your power-disturbing people who once fed off your weakness. So hear me when I say this. Taking your power back ain't about getting even with him. It's about getting right with you. It's about walking back into your own life like you own the building because you do. And once you step back into that role, once you sit back on your throne, ain't no man alive who can take that crown off your head again. Ladies, stop handing over your crown. Stop handing over your joy. Stop handing over your peace. Take it back. Because when you take your power back, the whole game changes for him, for you, for everybody. And the day you do that, that's the day you stop surviving and start living. The glow up always wins. Ladies, let me tell you something right now. The glow up is undefeated, always. You can argue about who said what, who texted who did the blocking and the unblocking. But at the end of the day, the woman who glows up always wins every time. See, men expect you to cry. They expect you to beg. They expect you to stay stuck. They expect you to keep showing up even when they've stopped showing up for you. That's the script they write in their head. But when you flip it, when instead of falling apart, you rise, oh baby, that's when you shake his whole world. The glow up ain't just about makeup, hair, clothes, or hitting the gym. That's part of it, sure, but the real glow up, the one that hits him in his chest, it's internal. It's that light in your eyes when you finally remember who you are. It's that confidence in your walk when you know you don't need him. You don't need validation. You don't need permission. It's that shift in energy that says, I'm back, I'm better, and I'm untouchable. And now, let me break this down because I want you to see how powerful this is. A man can ignore your text. He can brush off your calls. He can even tell himself he's done with you. But what he can't ignore is your glow. He can't unsee it. He can't unhair about it. He can't pretend it don't exist. Because when you glow up, everybody talks. Everybody notices. And somehow, someway, it always makes its way back to him. And when it does, he's sick. He's replaying the moments. He's asking himself, how did she move on like that? How did she level up without me? How did she flip the pain I caused into power?